Welcome to part 2 of our medical lecture, which we are still treating stroke. This is part 2. In this part 2 of our online medical lecture, I want to start with signs and symptoms of stroke. Then the signs and symptoms of stroke, we have what is called warning sign. This warning sign implies those things that when you see it, you suspect stroke automatically. Then these warning signs are, we have what is called numbness on face. Numbness on the face. Now this numbness on the face, when you look at the person will not be so, the facial expression will be lost automatically. The person will just be open eyes like this because the nerves has not been affected. And these nerves, we have facial, because we have 12 cranial nerves that are scattered all over the head. Then these 12 cranial nerves, we have what is called olfactory nerve, optic nerve, oculomotor nerve, trochlear nerve, trigeminal nerve, abducent nerve, facial nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve, and we have glossopharyngeal nerve, vagus nerve, spinal accessory nerve, and hypoglossal nerves. Now these nerves are located in the brainstem, which is part of the central nervous system. Now, when there is a failure of blood supply to the brain, then those nerves will be affected because they need oxygen. Unlike other cells, they need oxygen for their daily survival and also to promote their nervous activities. Now, when this nerves has been affected, especially the facial nerves, which is responsible for facial expression and other associated nerves, then numbness on the face will be will appear automatically. You look at the person will just be moving at one without recognizing anything. Because even though the optic nerve is also affected, the person will just be looking like this without seeing anybody. Now, another one, we have what is called inability to move or unable to move one part of the body, either the hands or the leg. Unable to move part of the body, such as the hand or leg. And we have what is called paralysis. Although I will still discuss more of this paralysis in our subsequent lecture, because this paralysis, we have many types of paralysis. We have something like quadriplegia, paraplegia, monoplegia, and other plegias, like depending on the part of the body that's been affected as the result is there. But paralysis is the inability of any part of the body, like other hand or the leg, to move, to become paralyzed. So it's one of the signs and symptoms of stroke. Then another one is what we call number 4, aphasia. Aphasia means inability to make a speech. The person will not talk. The person will not be able to do what? Talk. That's what we call medically known as what? Aphasia. Then because the hypoglossal nerve, which is one of the 12 cranial nerves that supplies to the tongue, has not been affected. The person will not be able to do what? Make a speech. Because the nerve responsible for that speech making has been affected. So, and we have what we call unexplained headache. Number 5. Unexplained headache. Appetite or anorexia. Anorexia means loss of appetite. The person may not have an appetite to eat. Another one, we have discussed anorexia. Number 7, weakness of the body. So the person's body will be very, very weak. The person may not be able to stand up. Now, all these signs, when you witness it, your mind should refer to what? Stroke automatically. Number 1, numbness of the face, unable to move any part of the body, such as hand or leg, paralysis, aphasia, which is inability to make a speech. We have unexplained headache, anorexia, weakness of the body. Anorexia means loss of an appetite. The person may not be able to do what? The appetite to eat again. So now, let's take these little signs and symptoms of stroke. When you see any of this, your mind should tell you that the person is now prone to what? Stroke. Thank you very much. Now, we want to look at the prevention of stroke. Prevention of stroke. Now, this prevention of stroke are those measures that we need to take in order to prevent stroke from occurring. The number one is reduced blood pressure. Number one, what you need to do, reduce blood pressure. Reduce blood pressure involves that you or hospital or doctors and nurses to monitor your blood pressure. If it is high, they can give you an appropriate measure to reduce what? It's either using of chemotherapy or using of psychotherapy, like exercise and the others. That measure can do what? Reduce blood pressure. Because if the blood pressure is allowed to persistently increasing in number, then it can lead to a rupture. To reduce blood pressure, just like I've been explaining, that you should always visit hospitals and clinics for doctors and nurses there to monitor your blood pressure. If it is above the normal range, if it is above 140/90 millimeter mercury, then they will give you a drug to reduce it, or they give you some of the psychotherapy to manage the blood pressure, so that it will not lead to what? Stroke. So reduced blood pressure is one of the most major way of what? Preventing what? Stroke. Then another one is balanced or adequate diet. Number two. Balanced or adequate diet. This is another important measure of preventing stroke. Now, in this balanced or adequate diet, you are going to avoid many things. Now, you will not consume a food that is highly rich in cholesterol to avoid what? Forming a clot, to avoid stenosis, to avoid atherosclerosis. And you have to do what? Reduce intake of what? Much salt. Let me tell you one thing about salt. Salt is one of the materials majorly found in electrolyte, like sodium, which is, salt, the chemical name of salt is sodium chloride. Now, this chloride affects or stimulates the vasodilators that expand the blood vessels, that expand the arteries. That is why if somebody is having what we call hypo, or something like when somebody is having a low blood pressure, then when you take the person to the clinic, do you know what the doctor does first? The doctor gives hydrocortisone. I mean, somebody that is having a low blood pressure, the doctor can give what? Hydrocortisone. The doctor can give what? Normal saline. This normal saline means salt-like, meaning that normal saline can activate the vasodilators, thereby expanding the arterial lumen, making the blood flowing more to the vital centers. Now, when the blood pressure is normal and you continue taking much salt, it means that it will begin to do what? Continue expanding it, making the blood pressure what? Higher. That is why to eat salt too much is not advisable to a normal patient, except you are having low blood pressure. So, but you are having a normal blood pressure, you avoid too much intake of salt, because it can predispose somebody to what? High blood pressure, which can lead to stroke. Another one we have is avoidance of smoking. Number 3. Avoidance of smoking. So now, you should be aware that smoking is one of the factors that can predispose somebody to stroke. Let me tell you one thing about that India hemp you do smoke. It contains what we call nicotine. Then this nicotine causes an increase in the level of blood pressure. So, avoiding smoking is just like somebody who is getting to paradise, because stroke can cause a cancer of the lungs. It can cause the cancer of the blood. It can cause stroke. It can cause many harm to human body. So it's just a kind of education now. Avoid smoking for your what? Well-being. Then we have another one, way of preventing stroke. We have adequate rest. Rest and suitable exercise. Now, let me tell you one thing about adequate rest and suitable exercise. To rest can prevent you from many things. It can because when you rest, the nervous system do relax. Now those nervous system, especially the one of the segmentary, the 43 segment of nerves that supplies to the arterial wall, that activates the blood vessel, activate the vasodilators and other tissues responsible for what? Dilation of the arterial lumen. Then when you are resting, that's why resting is very important in somebody who is having a high blood pressure, hypertension, somebody who is suffering of hypertension. So that is it. Now when you rest, those nerves will do what? A kind of relaxing. A kind of relaxing. Then the person will be what? Will be then be okay. That is why when you take a little sleep, when you wake up, you feel better than ever. So that is why adequate rest and suitable exercise. Always you do exercise. In the morning like this, you can jump small. In the afternoon like this, you can a kind of rest. In the evening, you can do some exercise and rest. So that is why adequate rest and suitable exercise is one of the vital measures in preventing stroke. So we have another one known as maintenance of body mass index, BMI. Number 5, maintenance of BMI. BMI means body mass index. Now, how can you maintain body mass index? Adequate nutrition plays a vital role there. Because when you are obese means those people that used to be bigger, and if you go to clinic and take their record, you discover that most of those obese people are at the risk of high blood pressure. So why? Let me tell you one thing. Obesity means the accumulation of fat in the body. Let me tell you, it's not only the muscular tissue that the fat is being accumulated. It also finds its way along the arterial lumen, thereby causing a constriction in the arterial lumen, thereby making a little blood to be flowing, because it will not give the arterial lumen enough space to do what? To travel. Rather, those fat will then be accumulated along the arterial lumen. It can cause high blood pressure, and it can cause insufficient blood supply to the vital center, especially the brain, which we were discussing. So, maintenance of body mass index, how can you maintain it? You reduce intake of what? Fatty food. You take an adequate exercise. You always rest and sleep very well. So you always eat. The food you need to eat is mostly what? Fruit and vegetables, to reduce the what? That your BMI if it is high. So that is it. Now again it's avoidance of an alcohol. Yes, number 6. Avoidance of alcohol. Alcohol can cause many damages in the body. It can damage your brain. It can damage your reproductive system. It can damage your heart. So meaning that for those who are addicted to alcohol, you stand at a higher risk of suffering most of the non-communicable diseases, which are very strong, very hard to treat. To treat communicable disease is easier to treat non-communicable disease because of the damages it has on the part of the body. So that is it. Let's take this little one as a preventive measure for stroke. Now let's go to management/treatment of stroke.